Hello, my name is Elizabeth Vries, and I would like to wish you a blessed, joyous Resurrection Day. Whether you are a Christian or not, this past week has been a deep time of introspection, of going into a self-reflection, and um, I've been talking to a lot of people in my readings about life review and about the fact that when we leave our form, when we die to this earth and to our body, but still walk through the portal to another dimension, we will first be greeted by enormous light and consolation and healing and beings around us that will console us and give us love, and we'll feel very lightened of our earthly burden, of our physical pain body that we carried on earth. Then a little time goes by and we begin what they call a life review. And a life review, we start with the end of our life and work backwards to when we first were birthed into an earthly form. The difference of a life review on earth compared to a life review after we drop our body is that we will actually look at our actions. We will look at the intention or non-intention of our actions. In other words, were they thoughtless, reckless, selfish, or intentionally cruel, intentionally kind, illuminated, guided by our conscience, or pushed by earthly desire. But the most important part of it all will be the recipient of our actions. And what will happen is we will actually feel the how they felt when we did what we did to them. Now, we could have made them feel extremely happy, loved, consoled, included, or we could have made them angry, sad, etc., etc. Not only do we look at that response to our action and the feeling that they went through from our actions, but we'll actually see when they were in a certain state of being from our actions and they went out in the world and affected others from that place. Like, say we brought them great joy and they took that joy that day into the world, and everywhere they went they spread that joy. If we made them feel insecure, lonely, abandoned, hurt in the heart, that would affect when they walked in the world at that time, and they could carry that with us if it was a deep hurt. So what we do is we're actually experiencing the outcome from the other side of our actions, which is why I always encourage people to do a life review throughout their entire life. Saint Teresa of Avila was a Christian saint, a Carmelite nun, and every morning, she got up and she set out intentions to serve her soul, to bring joy and peace and love to the world, to teach others, to impact others in a positive way. At the end of the day, she did a day review every day of her life, looked at herself without judgment and condemnation, but more with clarity, and saw the places that she had not fulfilled what she'd set out at the beginning of the day, and put that on the list for the next day. For her next expression, asked for forgiveness and forgave herself for the misdeeds that she felt she had done that day, and as a result of this intense scrutiny without being masochistic, just a scrutiny of her own life, her own thought, words, and deeds of that day, she started to self-purify, because she was eliminating the parts of herself that were no longer, she was no longer comfortable with, or she became so aware of her own intentions, her own thoughts, her own actions, that she actually was each day bringing herself to a higher and higher state of vibration. Through lifting her vibration, she broke through the veil. When we first come into a physical form, there is a self-imposed veil that we agree to, so that our experience of this life will be unique and fresh and not tainted by or influenced by past lives. So that veil we pull down with full knowledge that we're pulling it down, so that when we go to experience certain people, places, things, actions, or our reactions, they will be coming from soul patterns. We'll still bring those in with us, but will also be coming from a place of a new perspective, and that gives our soul the opportunity to grow, expand, have new experiences, rectify old errors. Karma is not just bad or good. Karma is having a thought, word, or deed that sends out a specific energy, and then if that was a good energy, receiving back a good energy. If that was a negative energy, bringing things back into balance. So we may have to go through something to bring balance back to something we had done to somebody else in another life. It's not a punishment. Karma is simply a rectification of energy. So I go back to the life review, which to me precedes the resurrection of ourself. The life review is going to the deepest core areas where our heart is utterly broken by life, where we carry sorrow, anger, fear, disappointment, judgment, self-judgment, judgment of others, anger, you name it. So by going into that life review, we are able, while still in a physical body, to rectify the errors. And it is a lot easier to rectify those errors while we're still in a physical body. Then after we cross, then we have to look at all those reactions, and it's a slower process of, and we have to take on the form again, come back into the veil of forgetting, and meet up with those same people and situations and places and events in a different way, to try to bring back a sense of balance, to clear our soul of its past misdemeanors. Or we could have a life where we come back basically having cleared up most of our negative karma, and we come back to serve and to help others and to become a consoler of others, to extend mercy to others, to drop our judgment of others, to open our heart and to bring love to other individuals. So to me, today I went to church with my beautiful friend Maura, and we had the most exquisite experience. It was in a very, very old cathedral in Pasadena. And we stood, and the whole Mass was in Spanish, So one is standing there experiencing the essence of being of all the Spaniards, of all the Mexicanos, of all the Hispanics of all types that were in that church. And I had a few beautiful, beautiful experiences there. One was we went to one where the Lady of Guadalupe, the mother form coming to Guadalupe in Mexico, there were a lot of Hispanics standing in front of that little grotto. And I saw a very young, beautiful Hispanic male putting calla lilies into the vase. He had brought them for the Lady of Guadalupe. And he was placing them with great reverence and great care. And then came back around, and there was this tiny little, I'm assuming it was his grandmother, very old lady, very tiny, and he was a tall fellow. And he put his arm around her and held her, and you could feel the reverence and the sacred interchange amongst all the people. Now, I am not of a specific belief system. I do deeply. I was born honoring and loving the Christ. There she is. And I was, Zaza, that's enough. And I was also, at this stage of my life, just 1 second, I'm so sorry. Come on, Zaza. Come to Mama. Come and say hi on Easter to everybody, okay? Can you come and say hi, you little noisy thing? This is Zaza. She's my little tiny girl that sleeps with me, lives on my bed, and she loves to cuddle. And if I'm not with her every minute, she lets out her little noises. So there you go, Zaza. There you go now. So anyway, returning back to that, my love is for all beings, all races, colors, religions, mystical paths, you name it. It's not for me to judge it. I show reverence for whatever is your path. But I really did want to say that the Resurrection Sunday is for me an incredible day. You can feel the upliftment in the air. You can feel the beauty of rebirth. And we have all been in a state of rebirth over since COVID, I feel, and since we're born in another way. So, whoops, I'm not sure what that's all about, but that's all right. So, that is my son, George. He does stuff like this all the time. So we will just go with that. And thank you, George. There it is again. You're going to see it go on and off because he's very clever with electronics. He does this in my bedroom every darn day. So I'd like to wish you all a blessed Easter, a blessed resurrection of your own heart, your own soul. And I hope in some way I've given to you the message of the understanding of self-reflection, of life review every day, daily review, and daily intentions. Thank you. May God be with you, and may you all show divine mercy and love from the center of your heart outward. We need it so deeply at this time. Thank you.